What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back. Got more NBA news for you. JD Davison, the reigning G League MVP, has been waived by the Boston Celtics and will now join the Houston Rockets on a two-way contract. So I'm sure a lot of people are not familiar with JD Davison or his game. He's a 6'1". Well, some sites say 6'1", some say 6'3". He's somewhere between that range, let's imagine, right? But he's a point guard. He's from Alabama, went to the University of Alabama, and was the G League MVP last season, like I mentioned. So he was a one and done at Alabama for the 21 to 22 season. He was the 53rd overall pick by the Boston Celtics in the 2022 NBA draft. Spent a lot of time with their G League affiliate, the Maine Celtics, and now goes to Houston, where he'll likely also spend time with their G League affiliate, which is the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. So JD Davison accomplished a lot with the Celtics. You know, he's an NBA champion. He's a G League MVP, all NBA G League first team, all NBA G League third team last season. And he's just been a guy that's really been under the radar, in my opinion. Has very, little exposure to the NBA game at this point. He's only played 36 career games in the NBA, has not started any of them. Career average of 5.5 minutes a night. So in the G League, though, his first season with Boston, the 22-23 season, played 26 games down the G League, 12.5 points per game, shot 31% from three, 50% from the floor, in 31 minutes a night. Then his second year with the Maine Celtics averaged 20.8 points per game, so a very significant jump. That's when he made All-NBA G League third team. Struggled from the three-point line, only 26.6% for the entire season, played 28 games with the G League affiliate Maine Celtics. Started all 28 of those games. And then last season played 30 games, started all 30 of them, averaged 25.1 points per game, shot 33.6% from three-point range, which is a career high for him in the G League, and 48% from the field on 19.1 field goal attempts a night. So he has grown a lot, right? And not to mention he was getting, a career average of 8.3 assists a game throughout 84 games in the G League over the past three seasons. So he's a guy that is very quick, very agile, can handle the ball very well. Needs to get a little bit better at taking care of the ball. Obviously needs to get a little bit better at his outside shot. But, he's a young guy. He's, a guy that can grow a lot still in his NBA career. He's only 22 years old. He's going to turn 23 in October. So I think this is a great pickup for Houston. He's probably not going to play all that much, right? He might go back down to the G League and play most of his time there. Obviously the Western Conference is a little bit tougher than the Eastern Conference. I'm not sure if that's the same for the G League or not, but I would imagine it probably is. And, being on a team like the Celtics for your first 3 years in the league and not getting a lot of playing time, I think it takes a strong individual to really kind of hunker down and be like, okay, I'm going to work on my game. I'm going to really do everything I need to and, figure out how I can move from there. And all of the Celtics vets, raved about this guy. Derek White was talking about how he's, one of their best lob throwers. He's a guy that's very quick. He has a great feel for the game. Drew Holiday was very complimentary as well. Jaylen Brown gave him, his flowers too. So right now the Rockets have on their depth chart as JD Davison is the fifth point guard off the bench. So, like I said, not going to get a ton of playing time, but this is a guy that they can mold into somebody that they really, want on their team, for, years down the line, right? But odds are he, spends the year with Houston, plays a couple of games in the NBA, and then winds up going to another team after that. Who knows, right? But the Celtics mainly got rid of him just because they needed to get under the second apron. Obviously, with Tatum out and, the roster flexibility that they're trying to have for the next year or so, it made sense to let him go, right? He probably wasn't going to get a ton of minutes anyway. They just traded for Anthony Simons. Who knows if Anthony Simons is going to stay on that roster or not either. So there's a lot of questions. So I'm hoping the best for JD Davison. I think he's a guy that can certainly make an impact on an NBA roster. He just needs his, chance to really show what he can do. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you're a Rockets fan, if you're a Celtics fan, please chime in. And I'm going to check you guys later, man. Stay up, stay blessed, stay safe, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.